So I'm about
to tell him.
Yeah,
to tell him.
I'm about to go live because it's already 6:00. I'm sure
Okay.
I'm sure everybody will jump in, but we could do a little chit chat, get the room going.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we got everybody gets impatient. Oh, stuff like that, yo.
Well, I like that guest you've had on last couple of weeks, Project Cloud.
Oh, he's really good.
I mean, and you made a very good call about the Bungie deal, about them going after talent, because literally 48 hours later, that's what came out in the media. Like, they wanted their talent to help them with other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I said, quite frankly, I'm like, oh yeah, there's gonna more than likely Sony's gonna probably do a movie or a long form
and it all
show.
happened.
Sure enough, yeah, that comes out 2 or 3 days later as well. Like, yeah, they're
like it's almost simple to predict. I mean, it's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's simple, but once they make an announcement, you could kind of reason why they did it, right? Because like if the Bungie purchase was just about IP, it didn't make sense. Right? If it was just strictly the talk of IP, like the Bethesda purchase and stuff like that, it wouldn't make sense. Because, while Destiny's great, it's still an old IP. It's already multi-platform. You're like, okay, this doesn't really make sense. Why did you buy an IP like Destiny when you or Destiny 2 when you can't do anything with it to keep it for yourself? But when when we had that discussion on the podcast, and I was like, maybe it's the talent behind Bungie. What they're able to do to create and be very successful. And then you brought up, don't look at Destiny from a gaming perspective, because remember, Sony in total, I mean, we always say Sony in most conversations, but it's really PlayStation, right? Yeah. When you talk about Sony, I know we always say Sony, right? But it's not really Sony, it's PlayStation for the most part, what we talk about in terms of the brand. When we talk about Sony, there's so many other parts that are in entertainment, and one of them is the movies, TV shows, the studios, and stuff like that, right? And then that's when you mentioned, the possibility of Destiny becoming an IP, under Sony's umbrella in context of the movies, in context of TV shows, in context of animation, And I was like, man, that's a good point. And lo and behold, like a day or two later, they brought that out. They're trying to expand Destiny beyond the game.
Yeah, they're looking at the success of Witcher on Netflix.
Yes,
because people didn't know how that was going to work out, and they went out and got a good actor, Cavill, to play that part. They've gotten other good actors and actresses to play those roles. So, and it's working. Now, I have not watched season 2 yet, but season 1 worked. So it's like, so I do need to get it and watch season 2 and other things as well. But yeah, it's just when Sean Layton years ago said, I think Sean Layton headed up a studio where they were looking at their IP to see what they could convert into a movie or a TV show. And I think they chose Uncharted. They have Ember Labs. I really hope they make a Kana movie, because those root things or rot, whatever they're called, those things will fly off the shelf if they're stuffed animals. So, I mean, those kids will go crazy for them. And that is begging. You give that to Sony Animation, which won an Oscar for Into the Spider-Verse, and you say, look at what they did here. And those guys at Ember Labs are movie guys.
Yeah.
The Kana that's the first time they try to do a game.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
So those are movie guys. That's their background is in that type of VFX and stuff like that. So yeah, go ahead and give them a studio and have them make a movie, write a script, for a movie, to adapt that to a movie or something like that. I mean, especially they're trying to reach out to little girls and stuff like that. I saw the video of the little girl going crazy over the Horizon Forbidden West trailer. And it was just some little girl. She looked like she was no more than 5 or 6 sitting on the couch. She was just in awe. So that's just something Sony could look to do. And yeah, I think a lot of people at this point, they do not understand the business side of it. That's why I like the way you come at it. You think more of on a business end first, then you go to gaming second. And there's just a lot of dudes that are going to be upset, and when you see Sony, projected to outsell their competition by 2 to 1, when you see them making record profits, even though if you looked at Sony stock the other day when they reported, and you were talking about their Q numbers, even though their Q number was down on manufacturing, their stock still went up.
Yeah.
So everything else, they were ahead. When you look at their numbers, they were ahead. So, yeah, it's just, I feel bad at this point. Yeah, I went from mocking those people, but I'm starting to feel sorry for them because I don't know what they're going to do at this point. So, I mean, they'll complain. We've heard that they're going to sit around and complain. But I don't know what they're going to do. It's none of my business what they do. I understand what Sony's doing. People were complaining about the lack of multiplayer games. I don't play multiplayer games, but I heard people complaining. So now that they're addressing that, people are complaining about it. It's like, okay, they're actually addressing a complaint that you guys had, so why are you upset about it? And it's just, so to me, it makes no sense. I feel sorry for those guys at that point, but that's just my opinion.
What's funny about that whole multiplayer thing? I don't think even Sony. I don't want to say. I don't want to say. Well, it's the truth. I don't think it was because they listened to the audience. When I did my little hot take on the investors call that I have uploaded, they specifically spoke on the reason why they're going on, live service games. And apparently since 2014, live service games has been increasing 15% consistently every year. So like the chart is off the hook in terms of revenue compared from 2014 to 2021. Like the numbers is huge in 2021 for live service games. So it's more of Sony looks at this and like, we're missing out on so much money on something gamers are actually buying. So I don't think it's so much on the conversation of what's happening on Twitter or on social media. I always said the best debater, the number one debater in games when it comes to gaming topics, and this person always wins, is Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin is undefeated. He can't be beat in a gaming debate. Like, he can't lose. It's impossible for Benjamin Franklin to lose. And for those of you that don't understand what I'm saying, everybody in America understands. But for those of you outside of America, maybe Europe, Asian markets, Benjamin Franklin, specifically him, it's the historian, but that's the face on $100 bill. So if you ever see American movies or American music talking about Ben Franklin, they're talking about the $100 bill. So that's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the money. That's when I said Ben Franklin. The money cannot be beat, right? So this huge revenue source of live service game, right? Sony, is pretty much doing outstanding when it comes to their single player games. I mean, phenomenal. Some of the best out there. I think the only company that does it better in terms of single player games, I think, is Nintendo. Right?
Yeah.
But Nintendo,
as far as quality,
as far as quality and sales. Their single player games is off the hook, Shout out to the Ruham. He out here saying, yo, what's good, P-Rock and panel. Hey, appreciate the super chat, man. Love.
Shout out to Kel Brooks as well in the chat. I saw you there, Kel. Nice. Good to see you again, young lady. Hopefully it's a good show for you.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome aboard, everybody. Shout out to the chat. Jay Gaming, I put you on timeout. P-Rock, all right. Jay Gaming 1986 says P-Rock put me in timeout. Why? Hey, I'm all about the trolling. Just be careful. Like that form of trolling, it gets out of hand. You understand what I'm saying? Xbox Pony, you got no games, all that other crazy shit. You know I'm all about the BS and stuff. But there's certain phrases that you just can't fly live on a thing. So that's what I'm saying, Jay Gaming. Talk your shit, you know what I'm saying? But just be careful what phrases you say in this stuff. So what was I? Oh, okay. So the money revenue is just huge, and I clearly see, it's obvious Sony wants in on that money. Single player, they got that on lock. They do a fantastic job. They're gonna put more effort into growing that side of the house. Again, I think the only other publisher that does it better than them is Nintendo, arguably. But Nintendo created an ecosystem for their single player to thrive. Because if you notice, their third party, it's not that strong. There's not a lot of strong third party games, and some of the most popular third party games, other than Fortnite and stuff like that. But there's a lot of major third party games that's not on that platform. So Nintendo created an ecosystem where the first party just simply thrives. Because that's primarily the best games you're going to get on that platform in general, right?
Right. Correct.
PlayStation's different. It's the best of both worlds. Like, you could say, I don't like any Sony first-party games, and you're still going to be playing insane amount of great games, blockbuster titles from the third party.
Second and third party.
Or you could go the opposite. I don't like third-party games, and you're going to play amazing games from PlayStation. So it's a best of both worlds, and Sony did an amazing job balancing that. But the one side they're very weak on is the multiplayer side, and I think it's more than the community feedback. It's the dollars. Sony sees, like, hold up, we're missing out on billions because we don't have a live service game, so they're putting an effort into that. I
agree.
Yeah,
the money drives everything, and it doesn't matter. I mean, I heard people saying things like, "I'm willing to use my voice to get PlayStation to go back on the right direction." I'm like, what are you talking about? They're fine. Yeah. They're doing better than fine. I mean, their division is making money. Jim Ryan and Herman Holtz have been extremely aggressive. They've bought 6 studios in 14 months.
Yeah.
So they're fine. I mean, they're going to buy more according to Jim Ryan. So that's a statement.
Yo, what's good, guys?
Yo, the best lisp.
Yo, so to combat that real quick,
go ahead.
I want to ask a simple question.
Hold on, I'm gonna let people know. Hey, the guy you're hearing is the only dude in the industry that talked to the former CEO, Sean Layden, and nobody still has been able to get him on a podcast. I'm just letting you know, people.
Yes, sir.
I'm just letting you know.
My guy.
I'm just letting no one out there, not even Colin Moriarty, no one. I'm just saying.
That's my guy. He'll be back soon. By the way, he'll be back soon.
Not Mystic, no one. You're listening to the dude who did it. He did it. I'm just saying.
Me.
You in Persona? You in Persona? Yep.
Yeah, Persona. He initiated it, locked it down, and we just did our thing.
That's what I'm saying. Every Saturday. What's up, PlayStation? I'm just saying, if you're a PlayStation dude.
Let me ask this, P-Rock and Craig. Let me ask this because it seems like you guys. I'm not saying you guys, but in general, with the PlayStation fans, it seems like you guys are ready to say okay to whatever PlayStation is doing as long as it's making money. So let me ask this question.
You guys, all right, I'm gonna let you finish.
Specifically, I'm not saying specifically you guys. Okay. Right. I'm just listening to what I heard. What Craig say. He said your PlayStation doing fine. They're making money, which is true, right?
Okay.
But I'm asking, do any of you guys play Fortnite?
No.
Do you play Fortnite, Craig?
No, I tried, and that person was bouncing up and down on the trampoline.
I tried.
Do you like the game?
I tried, but fucking when dudes are able to build the Taj Mahal faster than I could pull a trigger, I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. It's just not for me.
But it's successful. It's a successful IP.
Do you like the game?
I didn't care for it. But
I didn't like
that. Was years ago.
Me personally, yeah, I didn't like it.
It's one of the most popular and lucrative games out there, but what does that do for you, the gamer? Does that matter how lucrative Fortnite is if you don't personally like what they're doing?
Well, no, but again, I'm not supposed to like everything that somebody puts out. I mean, I didn't think I liked that soccer cars game, but I ended up playing. I'm like, okay, well, I can see why this is addictive.
But that is my angle on where I'm, bringing my points up. I'm talking about the game. I understand the business moves. I understand the outside of gaming when it comes to movies. I don't really and truly. I'm caring about the gamer, the PlayStation gamer. The stuff that is going on and being said, it is not beneficial for the PlayStation game. You guys are bringing up Jim Ryan and blah blah blah. Jim Ryan here in this interview. I don't know if you guys missed this interview in this game business, GameIndustry.biz.
I know what you're talking about.
He spoke about this deal, and it's a multi-platform deal, and we're starting to go multi-platform. You've seen that. We have an aggressive roadmap for these live service games, and which I agree with Porter out when it came to the talent side of things, because they made that pretty clear. I think it was pretty obvious. At the end of the day, whatever they're speaking about when it comes to Bungie and their acquisition, it's for a multi-platform type of thing towards live services, according to what Jim Ryan is saying here in the GameIndustry.biz. How does that benefit any of you guys here on the podcast?
All right, so I could talk to you. So I understand. Well, let me do a super chat real quick. Jason, what's going on, brother? My bad about. He said My bad about last week. I wasn't having technical difficulties. I was having kid difficulties. No doubt, man. Father comes first. But I sent you a DM. You just let me know, all right? Hit up the DM if you want to hop on this week. Cause
you trying to come through?
Yeah, he's trying to come through. You know what I'm saying?
P-Rock is one of the most, like, you know, free-flowing, you know, dudes that host a podcast. And normally he just say, yo, come through. You know what I mean? If you
just
vibe,
don't do
you know?
weird shit. You know, I know it's a risk. You know, I don't want somebody to hop on and all of a sudden they're like a Ku Klux Klan member. You know, I'm like, oh, shit. And then once that clip is out there, that's it. That's it, you know, and then people, yo, just don't be weird, you know. I could free flow. I could get anybody in the podcast last minute and get it free flowing. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, please don't be a weirdo. Like, you know. But anyway, so to answer your question, J Bar, and J Bar, you brought up. This is a great topic, actually. This is great that you brought this up, right? So I don't see your scenario the same as this. I'll tell you why. Because Fortnite. Epic making Fortnite doesn't impede on what I like. It's just another game in the sea of games. Like, for example, I don't like any racer, right? And Sony has a dedicated studio for racing, which is Polyphony Digital. They're dedicated to that. And I can't stand racing games. But simply because they made that studio doesn't mean that Sony overall impedes on the things I do like. You understand what I'm saying?
But here you go, though, P-Rock. With Epic Games and how lucrative that live service game is, their focus is just on those type of games. My fear is the fact that how lucrative these games can be. I mean, it can be hit or miss, but let's say they do have a banger, it's going to be a priority going on here where can I make this single player game that's going to sell whatever, or I'm going to, you know, continue improving upon this live service that we got that is going to be, you know, bringing a lot of money. And the thing is with those games, they take a lot to manage. Okay. You know what I mean? Which I brought up as well, where people was like, oh, Bungie, they're going to be doing this with the other studios and this and that, which I'm not disagreeing, but their focus ain't going to be on that per se. It's going to be on them managing their live service games. The Destiny, the new game that's coming out, whatever else is coming out. It takes a lot to manage those games because every studio or publisher that do live service games, what are they really doing outside of the live service game?
Okay, so I can help you out with that. And I'm going to tell you the difference between Epic or even Activision or Sony, right? Epic is kind of like a publisher, but they're also kind of like the developer themselves, right? When we look at PlayStation, right?
And that's PlayStation.
No.
Developer and publisher.
No. But what I mean by that is PlayStation has the publishers, and that's their job. And then you have the developers that are actually the main guys. Like Epic is kind of like a bleed over cross blitzing, right? Like kind of like the developers are also the publishers. So you know what I mean? There's like a blend of roles between them. Sony has two strict lines of roles, right? So for example, you got the publisher, right? And it's the publisher and Sony company saying, hey, we bought Bungie, blah, blah, blah. We got 10 studios on live service. But then within the studios, you still have, the guys that are, you know, single player guys, right? Now, a lot of people think because, you know, like let's say in Epic's case or other companies, they chose live service over single player games because it's more lucrative. That's lucrative for them because, one, they're not responsible for a console. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't have that responsibility to cater to an audience that buys this platform. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that responsibility, right? So they could just, this is the image we create and this is who we are. While PlayStation, they have this brand in PlayStation consoles, so they have an image they created. And because of this image and because of this console, it created unique communities within this brand. So you have the single player community, right? You got the free to play community. You got the third party community. You have all these communities that fall under this umbrella where third parties don't really have that. Does that make sense? So on the Sony, hey, we got the single player guys. These guys, you know, we got single player games. They make tons of money. As long as these single player games make tons of money, they got that. Now on the other end, they got now the live service. They're investing in that because as I showed in my hot take, the industry since 2014, when it comes to the live services game, has grown 15% every year. That's just too much money to ignore. Now, the reason why I have faith that Sony's not going to cut everything over to games as a service, and I will tell you why, because if that was their plan, then they would have never done PSVR 2. Because
I'm not saying that they're going to do that. I'm just saying that
I know, but think about it.
I'm saying that there's going to be a limit. There's going to be a limit in the future because priority is going to take place.
No, I don't think so because everybody goes priority. It's all about budget. You know what I'm saying? And the only time you get budget constraints is when something's not selling. You know, like for example, if Sony Ben makes another game that doesn't hit, you know, kind of gets that Days Gone. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know, like Days Gone is good, sold 8 million, but something there, it's something happened, right? If Sony Ben does another game and it's lukewarm again, then they might be in trouble in terms of priority. You see what I'm saying? While Naughty Dog, they're going to get a blank check, right? Insomniac gets a blank check. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe Guerrilla gets a blank check. You understand what I'm saying? Polyphony Digital, yeah, you get a blank check. You understand? It's all budget, right? And that gets all budgeted out. So whatever Sony's doing for these live service games, they're budgeted out for these games, and those games have to be successful on their own. If these live service games aren't successful, then they're going to be on the chopping block just like anything else, right? If these live services games are successful, then they're inherently creating the budget for themselves to keep on going and going. You understand what I'm saying? So Sony's been pretty smart. And the reason why, again, I'm confident that we're not going to see much issues on our end is because of PSVR 2. PSVR 2 is definitely not a live service peripheral. You know what I'm saying? It's not built for that. It's built for a unique single player, experience that goes beyond the TV, And I would imagine with that headset alone, they invested a lot of money in that headset, right? It doesn't make sense if they're planning on a future of cutting out single player games, but yet you're investing in VR, which is most likely a single player, experience that just takes you more involved into the world and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I think Sony, and I think the fear is because of Microsoft. Microsoft has not done a good job of balancing themselves. And everybody has this notion of, and I even say Nintendo. Nintendo has not done a good job of being able to balance single player, multiplayer, and third party. Nintendo's primarily first party, and they're excelling at that. Probably one of the best at it. But when you try to talk to them about online and third party support, they're not that good. Then you look at Microsoft, they're doing great with services and all this stuff, but then when you try to ask them about first party, performance, especially single player games, they're terrible at it, and their only answer is to buy other people. And then because of all these people not being able to do things too well, they look at Sony, oh yeah, Sony's going to suffer. But when you really look at Sony, they've done a great job balancing their ecosystem. They do a great job getting third party. They do a great job getting second party. They do a great job with their first party. They did a great job with their online. PSN Plus is fantastic. You could say their weakest link right now is PS Now, but they're not really like at the forefront of, subscription service and that being the main way for gaming for them. But you could say that's pretty much their weakest point. Hell, even VR, they're doing pretty good. And better than expected, especially for a peripheral that you need a PlayStation to play on. They've done really good on that front, So I think Sony knows how to. They do a great job balancing all different types of projects and stuff. So I think they're going to do a good job, balancing the multiplayer side. As for me, it just comes down to what game they make. If they bring back SOCOM and it's banging, I'm playing SOCOM, bro. I'm in there. Yes, I'm gonna be up in there. Let them be like, hey, you got the Marine Camouflage, $10 MTX. I'm gonna be like, Semper Fi, buying that shit. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Yo, Eagle Globe and Anchor, Semper Fi, $20. I'm buying that shit. Any Marine memorabilia, I'm buying it. My dude's gonna be all geared up. Let them have my rank on there for $50. I'm buying it. You know what I'm saying? Semper Fi, that shit, hoorah. Yeah. That shit is mine. I'm buying it.
They're not developing everything for just they're doing it for everybody. Deviation. My understanding is they did a article or something leaked. I don't know if it was on PlayStation Lifestyle or something like that. They said their game is going to have a single player mode on it. We don't know what the game is. But it's going to have a single player mode. And Jade Raymond said she's making her game with the help of the Mad Genius. So, yeah, we have to, she's talking about she wants to push the console all the way. And she's perfect to do that. And she's reporting to the foot of Sony. So,
Nah,
Those games
all I'm saying is that be wary of how live service can change how the industry is.
I agree with that.
Listen, I love PlayStation. I game on PlayStation primarily. Most of my gaming is on PlayStation. But when I read certain comments, I'm not gonna create no reality or wonder world where it's perfect. No, I'm seeing what these dudes are saying, and they're blatantly saying it, and I'm just looking.
Now, I would say this. So, when I listened to the investors thing, and they're talking about multi-platform and pushing multi-platform, the topic was like Bungie and stuff like that, right? It was kind of hard because the investor's call was in Japanese, so you got it from somebody, a Japanese that spoke English, translating it, and it was very like I had to listen to it multiple times to get the point. I'll be honest, I'm just gonna say default that they're gonna stick with their plans, putting games on PC. They mentioned nothing about day one PC, so anybody who says that, that's a lie. They didn't mention anything about that. They did mention multi-platform. But the topic was live services. So at a minimum, a lot of these live services, I would imagine, especially they're free to play, is going to be day one on PC, or at least going to PC rather soon, which makes sense because if a game's free to play, the crux of success behind a free to play is mass adoption. That's just how that type of game works and stuff like that. So, and the money's there, right? So I think I don't want to invalidate your fear of Sony moving away from single player. I think that's the worst case scenario. I think that would be terrible for us.
I'm not saying they're gonna ever move away.
Or
I'm
make
just
it
saying
worse.
that
I see
the line, what I mean, it might.
You might get like
miss
2
out
games
on
a year.
game that will come out because this is more of the priority.
I think as long as Naughty Dog is successful, Insomniac's successful with what they're doing, because I think those studios will still do what they do. Insomniac might bring back Resistance. They have potential for that. Obviously, Naughty Dog has one multiplayer game. But as long as they primarily do what they always do, which I think they're grounded on that single player style, I think we'll be fine, right? I think where we need to be nervous is not so much the success of the live service game, is if any of these studios create flops, and how much wiggle room Sony has to tolerate a flop. I would say definitely.
Yeah, I mean, PlayStation has already dealt with a lot of live service stuff. Yeah. They flopped.
Yeah.
But also my issue with the multi-platform thing is the way how PlayStation, with their first party games, handle multiplayer. I think is horrible. Mm-hmm. They go out and do so much more for a third party game that's multi-plat, where they will have exclusive content for PlayStation gamers, but their own game they don't do that for, which is I think that's a bad sign, and I don't like it at all. Real talk.
Let me shout out to Lionel B. He has a super chat specifically for you, Bari. So Lionel said, "So Bari, you're saying, he says, so Bari, you're saying Sony can't chew gum and walk? Why publish and remake games like Returnal and Demon Souls? Why don't they just make big games that sell over 10 million like God of War Horizon?"
No, I'm not saying that they can't make two things. I'm saying that what we like, that can dwindle due to the fact that this becomes the priority of making money. Since everybody's focused about, this makes money. This is bigger than just PlayStation. It makes money. Yes, when it comes to developers and what they're choosing to make or what they're put out, it can dwindle. I'm not saying that they can't make both. I'm not saying that single player is going to go anywhere or they can't make smaller games and stuff like that. I'm just saying from what we have examples with how gaming industry works now, I'm applying it to PlayStation and the things that they are saying in these interviews. And it's not just a developer. This is the head of PlayStation that's saying this.
Yeah,
that's all. So at the end of the day is that they are putting out 10 live service games within 4 years.
Yeah.
How many single player games are they going to put out within 4 years? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, right now they're scheduled to, in 4 years, I don't know, but they're scheduled to have 16. There's 26 games coming out. Shout out to Zuby Tech. He put this out the other day.
Yeah, there's 26 games, but we don't know how much of that 10 is live service.
To be fair, they already pushed out a bunch of single player games, right? We already have Miles Morales. We already have Returnal. We already have Ratchet & Clank.
That's before acquisition and all that stuff. I'm just talking about the future down the line.
Yeah, we know we're getting Wolverine. We know we're getting Spider-Man 2. Naughty Dog's next game, we know one of them is a multiplayer, but chances are the other one is a single player. Sony Ben's next game, I mean, it's up in the air, but I would imagine it's another single player game. Stuff like that. We're just getting a Horizon Zero Dawn, another God of War. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're going to be fine with single player games. And I will say this. The reason why I think we'll be fine with single player games, one, they've been successful. But I will say the big difference, especially when you're a platform owner, right? This is real important, right? Because we can't just look at Sony from a perspective of a third-party publisher. We got to look at them as a platform owner because they still have to continue to push the PlayStation 5, right? Brand new single-player games is like advertisement as well. You can't advertise an old live service game that's been out for 2-3 years. Does that make sense? Let's say if Sony comes out with SOCOM this year. Let's say live service game SOCOM and it's banger, right? And this year you advertise the hell of it. Boom, yeah, SOCOM. Yeah, and everybody's, yeah. That game you can't use as advertisement 2 years from now. Even though it continually makes money, the fan base is already established. You understand what I'm saying? You can't use the game in 2024 to sell new consoles. You need something new. You need a new game. Like, what new game is going to say, hey, because not everybody bought a PlayStation. You know, every year you have to convince people to buy a PlayStation. You can't convince them with SOCOM from 2 years ago. Like, what new game is that? And single player does a phenomenal job. Look at Horizon Forbidden West. That and Gran Turismo. That shit is fucking being publicized everywhere. There's a lot of people like, oh man, I finally got my reason to play PlayStation. Gran Turismo 7's back. You know, you got PC gamers. I seen PC gamers, right, that played Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time on PC, and now they're seeing Forbidden West. They're like, fuck, I gotta get me a PS5 or at least a PS4. I gotta get something. They're not waiting. They're not. They're gonna get something
which is
to play Forbidden West.
That was their plan in the first place too. Was to get those guys to switch over or consider switching. I think Leighton said, if you they're not coming to my house to play, I got to go to theirs. I mean, I believe he did say that. I think in print, or I'm paraphrasing him. So, yeah, I just, like I said before, I mock those guys, but I'm done doing that. I feel bad for them because I think it's all right to have a little bit of healthy skepticism. I think that's fair. I think that's very fair.
I'm not saying so. J Bar does a great point, right? At the end of the day, money talks, right? And a lot of these decisions are not controlled by developers. It's usually guys who aren't developers.
The suits.
Yeah, the suits, right?
Yeah, because look at the whole PC. Look at the whole PC thing. Yeah. First, it started out as we're just going to test a little here and there. Then there's no adverse reaction. Then it's, we're making good bank over here. We're going to continue to push that. You know what I mean? Like, they change as far as when money comes into play.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, those are old games.
So Staples, what do you think? Staples, I'm glad you're here. What do you think so far? What we've been talking about?
I think it depends on these games that they release, if they're successful or not. Depending on how successful, because I even look at Rockstar. Rockstar, they used to release games regularly, and then they got their big hit with GTA 5, and they don't really release anything anymore besides Red Dead. But I mean,
that's a good point.
But then I look at Respawn, and Respawn, they released Apex, which was a hit, and then they're also making the Star Wars game. So it could go either way. It really depends on what Sony prioritizes and what the studios are capable of. The studios got to hire a lot. I don't know what. I guess Guerrilla is making a multiplayer game, but I don't know what other first party. Not like Deviations and Firework. I mean, like actual Sony-owned first party is making multiple multiplayer games. But I think it's just going to depend on how much the studios can handle, because live service games is significantly different from single-player games. It's a whole different tool set. You got to put so much content in it. You got to update your fan base consistently. And gamers are fickle. They'll leave, bro. They'll leave. Sometimes they come back, but you gotta. I'm saying it's different. It's not like single player games. It's a different world. So
to me, Staples would you consider GT7 games for service? Because they're releasing. It's always online. They gave us a reason, but it's always online. It's going to have a lot at the beginning, but we clearly, I'm sure you watched the state of play. They clearly said it will be updated for the rest of the time it's out. Does that count as a games as a service then? Well, I'm talking about
GT. Is that how the prior GTs was? Like, is that any different from Sport or GT6? I don't play Gran Turismo, so I'm genuinely
a games as a service because they had a roadmap for that game as far as continuing to add on content and different things. Like they added like a campaign in that later on and all that stuff. When it comes to 7, I guess you can call it.
It's like Blur because it's like Blur. They're catering to two audiences.
Because if a game gets updated, get fixed, or if they add DLC content and all that stuff, I don't know. But typically, like a live service game will have like a roadmap as far as like they're building on top of the game. As far as you might get this little top here, but now you get another section to build that building up higher and higher and higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to tell the difference now between a regular multiplayer game and a live service, because people, like, I've seen people saying Ghost of Tsushima has like live service aspects because they added the legends and they keep adding stuff to the game. So it's getting, like, the lines are definitely getting blurred from regular multiplayer, which still exists, and a live service.
What I was thinking is that to me, they're already there, depending on how you want to look at it. That's just my opinion. So, but to me, if you have something out and you're updating it with new stuff or stuff that people can buy with MTXs and stuff like that, that's a service.
I mean,
I'm not arguing. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it is a blurred line, right? Because technically, wouldn't World of Warcraft be considered a live service game as a service game?
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
and how long? And how old is that? And how old is that game?
Oh, I played
decades old, right? Mm-hmm. You know, so it's like a blurred line. Like, what's the fine line to call a game live service, games as a service, and so it's just true. So like GT7 with that is it like a hybrid? It's really interesting, right? Neo Wise, thank you for the super chat. He says, how do we know the games as a service can't have a single player campaign? As well, like Deviation game, it has a single player story and multiplayer. That's a good point. Barry.
You're right.
I asked Barry.
To me, it's okay to have some skepticism. I as a consumer, you should always have a healthy amount of skepticism. But to me, I agree with the super chat. I think they can walk and chew gum at the same time. So we'll have to wait and see. Look, they got Jade Raymond. She's a cool person. She's got, she knows what she's doing. The Deviation guys, they seem really excited about their game. So again, I don't blame people for having some skepticism though. I got no issue with people having skepticism. I'm not gonna. You can't tell me, even though the cake looks good, I gotta taste it.
True.
So I understand. I totally get that.
So Barry, let me ask you this. Barry. Mm-hmm. Call of Duty, the annual one, has a single player campaign and obviously has the multiplayer. What would you categorize that? Would you consider that as a games as a service game, or like where would you fit that in? Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
I think COD games are like live service games now because now within seasons, right? Yeah. They took that Fortnite approach where every 2 months or so there's like a new season. So with the multiplayer side of things, I'm not saying that a live service game.
Did they stop the map pack? Because I haven't played Call of Duty multiplayer in years.
Nah, like the maps just come within seasons instead of like
do you buy it, or is it just automatic?
Seasons are free updates.
Okay, so you no longer have to buy the map.
They do the whole battle pass where that's where you will buy, or if you want to skip tiers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. Hey, so we got another visitor, first time visitor. All right, you see him in the chat as Jason. On Twitter, he's the Illuminati, but on here he's called Liquid Data. Oh shit! Wait, I gotta bring him back. He left. He hopped off. All right, I brought him back. I brought him back.
Got him.
I brought him back. Liquid Data. Hey, brother, you all right? Uh-oh. What?
He's in the general chat.
Yeah, he went back. Homie, stop leaving. Stay here. Let me bring him back again. Hold on. Let me bring him back in live on air. All right. Liquid. Let me make sure we can hear him. My man's having technical difficulties. He probably has like 10 VPNs on. That was good. All right, Liquid. Hey, we're going to keep going. I don't know what's going on. Oh, he left. What the? Liquid, why are you? What the hell's going on here?
You got a couple super chats.
All right, so he keeps going. He keeps going into that. Are you guys able to drag him? I'm not sure if you guys could drag, but let me go with JFK TV. Thank you for the super chat. He said, "I just got here, tardy to the party as always. Hey, you fashionably late. It's in style. That's how we do. But Sifu is an early contender for the best indie of the year. Easy. What up, Rock? What up, Barry?
Easily.
Ooh, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about my mess up first. We'll start with that, and then I'm gonna bring it up to you guys. And then we got Dover. I'm not saying your first name because you called me last time. Offline single player, my guy. All right, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. Oh, we got my sister from another Mister. She goes, I understand the skepticism, but Destiny 2 has been heavily focused on the campaign since 2018. The latest DLC, super story base, they can do both. She is.
I think she's right. She's right. And that's another reason possibly why they hopefully brought Bungie on board to alleviate some of those fears. Yeah, I was going to ask somebody, I wanted to talk to people who actually do play Destiny. Like, what do they think about the game? I know there's people who are heavily invested in it. My character is a level 4, so I don't play the game.
Well, Luca has the keys to the house. She can hop on any time. And she has a new super chat. She said Discord's trash. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Liquid, what's going on here? I'm dragging you. Here, let me do this.
Yo, tell him to close out. I don't know if he's on his mobile phone or he's on computers. Close out the app and then come back in.
All right. So there you go. So Liquid, I already gave you podcast guest, so you could click on live on air if you keep hopping back and forth. But I say restart your computer
he on his phone.
Or restart your phone. You know what I'm saying? Do some push-ups. I don't know. Take some, creatine. I don't know what you gotta do, Liquid. Maybe only run 5 VPNs instead of 10. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on.
Well, Rock, I gotta pop off though because
I'm
working in the morning.
All right,
but y'all have a good rest of them. Shout out to the Ash and Luca and everybody else in the chat. And you all stay blessed, stay safe, and wear your mask. Our numbers are coming down. So keep up the good work, everybody.
All right,
down New York, but
right. All right. So I guess we're gonna move on to Sifu, right? Everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody sees the image. We got the master. Show enough. We got the Sifu image. It's a J Bar. You see the image I got?
Yo, yeah.
Once you show that to me,
I'm trying to become a grandmaster.
You know what I'm saying? You trying to get the glow, Leroy.
Absolutely.
Who's the baddest in Harlem? The Shogun of Harlem. We're showing our age out here. You know what I'm saying? Once I saw that image, I'm like, I was gonna use the regular Sifu image, but when you showed me that, I'm like, oh hell nah, this is going up. This is it. This is it right here. So let me tell my story, and then I'm let you take over, right? So Sifu,
I hope
right?
you ain't throwing no controllers, P-Rock.
No.
I know you got that Puerto Rican angle.
I wish, right? I wish. So I'm out here. I pre-ordered Sifu. I'm like, woo! I'm gonna get the early access, blah blah blah, whatever. And then on Sunday, people out here talking about it. Already. I see Slow-Mo Clapback giving kung fu lessons. Akira's out here, you done out there. I'm like, oh hell yeah, that's right. I turn on my console, I still see 1 day to download. And I'm like, 1 day to fucking download. Like, why is the time? I'm like, why is the timer still on? I'm like, what? What? And I look at my pre-order. I bought the regular edition. I didn't buy the deluxe edition that has the you could play the game early. And I'm like, damn. Doesn't that hurt your soul, bro? Like, yo, I turned on my console. I was ready to get my Wang Chung tonight, bro. I even had that song on. That shit was like, everybody Wang Chung. Oh, I got my Cobra Kai. I was listening to Miyagi lessons. and the timer was still on, and I'm like, oh my god, I bought the like I don't even remember. Yo, that shit so fucking like that shit hurt bad. Yo, I was like, how did I not notice? And the crazy part is the deluxe edition was on sale, like the whole time. It was only like a $5 difference, and I'm like, oh shit! And when I had my Wu-Tang music on, I put my gi. Yo, I was ready, bro. I was like, yo, I'm about to get in this. I can't talk about Sifu. I have to play it today. I just came out of work, started a podcast. Right after the podcast, I'm gonna get my kung fu on. But right now, I'm just a dishwasher. I'm just you ever see the Bruce Lee movie? You are lonely dishwasher. That's me.
Sifu.
I'm in the kitchen. That game. I'm in the kitchen just washing dishes. I'm not on the kung fu mat because I'm just a lonely dishwasher. So I'm gonna let the kung fu master take it away. Bari, let me know what's up.
Yo, P, I just want to let you know real quick. Sifu's that game, yo. You gonna come in there feeling like a boss. You know what I mean? You load the game up, you getting ready, you do the little tutorial. But that game gonna quickly put you on your ass. you gonna be like, all right, let me. You know that meme where the gamer is like relaxing.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like, let me sit up real quick. You know, that's what Sifu gonna do to you, bro.
Oh shit!
It's gonna make you sit up real quick.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we got Liquid Data, aka Jason, aka the Illuminati, aka Shawshank Redemption, aka Liquid Melanin, aka. Now I'm playing. Yo, what's up, brother? What's good? Welcome aboard, bro.
What's happening, man? I appreciate you having me on here, man.
I'm glad you figured out what you had to do. You had to shut down a couple of VPNs. What did you do? What was going on here?
Nah, I had to put the kid down. You know
Enough said, bro.
It's from New York. She's a New Yorker, so you should be able to relate to that.
You know what you do? You give him Diamond Tap. You be like, here you go. Here's some Diamond Tap, man. Knocks him right out, bro. That's right there. My daughter, boy, when she was staying up, I'm like, man, you sound sick. She's like, I'm not sick. Yeah, you sound sick. Here, have some Diamond Tap. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm playing. They're gonna clip that. They're gonna clip that. This guy's a terrible father.
Only 2. My kid is 2 years old. He'll be 3 years old this year.
God bless him.
He's in the Neanderthal. You know what I mean? So.
Oh snap! All right, so we're gonna.
Like, damn, like.
So you play some Sifu?
I ain't even played Sifu yet. I've been jumping on what's that damn thing called? Dying Light 2. Dying Light. I'm big on Dying Light. You know.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna kick you off the podcast. What the hell going on here? But now I'm playing. I'm gonna
get with all that. You know.
Okay.
I definitely been looking at Sifu. It definitely looked like some Bruce Lee. Like, he about to break out the nunchucks and punch somebody in their lip real quick.
It's like the Last Dragon type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like Bruce Leroy the Glow type shit. Bruce Leroy. So I'm gonna give it back. I'm gonna give it back to Jay Barry. Go ahead, keep preaching. You know the ways of the Wu-Tang.
Sifu is the most satisfying hand-to-hand combat game I've ever played in my life, and I played a lot. The game is very satisfying from a sound quality standpoint, from an impact, from an animations, like. Graphically, it got that cell shade. You know, it's like an indie type of game. But everything that's done when it comes to the fighting mechanics of the game, it's so detailed. Like this joint is like a fighting game, yo. You know what I mean? Like everything that enemies react to you sweeping them, to them, you punching them on the floor, like punching them in their gut. It's so satisfying. This landing stuff, like it is typically that kung fu movie that we watch, but instead of watching, we're playing it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's Saturday Kung Fu flick.
On Saturdays back in the day.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's that revenge story. You know what I mean? You're getting your ass beat, but each time you're getting your ass beat, you're learning the experience. But the game is very satisfying, man. Like, I suggest people when they begin playing this game, just don't give up on it. You know what I mean? Because it is going to be challenging. But once everything just comes together. You're definitely gonna be like, it's gonna feel mad good, yo. It's gonna feel like the game is very satisfying. Like everything you can counter to, or you can like maneuver, or you have something to deal with it. You know what I mean? but you just got to learn every ins and out, like how enemies attack it and all that stuff. Once you learn that stuff, you're gonna be good to go. And yeah, I'm loving the game, man. So far, right now, I'm on the third level. Like I've been grinding the game as far as like learning the first and the second level. And just due to work stuff, like I can't really get to play as much as I want because these motherfuckers is messing up certain files. But when I do get the chance to play, like I'm just grinding, trying to unlock like abilities, because this game, it has like I don't want to call it a roguelike because it's not a roguelike, but it has certain elements of it. So when you die or when you restart, you kind of reset all your skills and stuff like that. But the levels don't like procedural generate. Everything's going to be the same regardless. But they have this thing where you can spend your experience points. So when you die and you keep going throughout the level, like if you playing the game for the first time, don't worry about dying or doing no death runs and stuff like that. Just continue to play the game and build up your experience. So there's a certain move that you like, you will unlock it, but you will lose it if you give up. But if you keep on playing and you die, you resurrect yourself, use your ability to permanent unlock it. And then once you permanently unlock a skill, you have that skill forever.
Oh, even when you die, you wake up already with have it.
Yeah, even if you die, or say you get to age 70, or you just like, oh, I died here, let me give up. If you have that skill permanently unlocked, you have that skill throughout everything. So you're gonna be good. So like use death as something that you're learning. I know people's getting frustrated, like, damn, I'm dying. This game is too hard. No, use that as a learning experience, yo. And
what's the maximum age that you died on already?
Like the maximum age, so the 70 is the max age that you have where you're not going to resurrect after that. But I've gotten to like 76 just due to the death multiplier. So each time you die, there's a multiplier. So if you die one time, you're going to see a death count of 1. But if you die a second time, it's going to turn to 2. So now that you die 2 times, your age is going to go up 2 levels instead of 1. So if your death count is at like 6 and you die, your age is gonna go up 6 times.
So how many death counts do you get?
Depending, your death count can go up whenever. You can go up, keep going up. If you die and die, you're gonna keep going. So you start at you start at age 20. So say you died at 22. Your death count is at 2, but you died again. It's gonna go to 3. So now you die, you're gonna be 25.
Right. But you can. What happens if you die at 76? Like, does it reboot?
That's game over.
Game over. And then when you start all over, you start all over completely? Like after game over?
You start all over wherever, what level you at, the squats or the club or whatnot.
Now here's my question. When you start all over, does the permanent unlock moves carry over, or even that is gone?
Yeah, if you have a permanent unlock, that's going to carry over.
Oh, that's going to carry over.
Use that as like a learning experience, because
so it's like a roguelike.
So it's almost like a roguelike in a way. It sounds like in a way.
Yeah, it's like it got that. That's what I said. I don't want to really call it a roguelike, but it got the elements of it.
It has the elements of a roguelike game. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. That's so
but that's why I say use your death as like a learning experience, because say you're not really doing like a good run, but you have like a lot of experience.
But you know what? That sounds like the old school game, and like when you die,
like Double Dragon, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Streets of Rage.
That's
like, how it was.
I died, and when I go back in it, basically it was the same back in the day, but it's like, all right, I'm a go in it and I see the same enemies and I'm gonna bust them up when I get in there.
Like Golden Axe. That's how games work.
That death counter, it can go down. Like, say somebody kill you in a game, if you get like revenge on that person, or like you kill a certain enemy, that counter will go down. So if you died one time and you have a death count, and then you kill the person that killed you, that death count goes down, but your age is still going up.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Your age is still up.
All right, good to go. I see. Strictly,
you can't reverse your age, but you can reverse the death count.
Make it all right. Strictly gaming.
And then you have like these little statues where, depending on your experience or how much points you get in the level, you can do like these certain like skill stuff. So you can do one where if you parry or block, you get more like structure, which is your guard. Or you can reset your death count if you have like 1,000 experience and stuff like that. There's stuff there to help you out in the stage, and there's shortcuts.
You know what?
Too, but the way how they do the shortcuts is really clean. It's cool because each level gives you something towards like a certain level to give you a shortcut. Like I just did a museum and I got the club code for a shortcut to get to the boss faster because I beat this lady in the museum. I was like, oh, there we go. That's the door I can unlock now. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Okay. All right. So Strictly.
My man Strictly's in the building?
Yeah.
My brothers.
And I know he's getting his last dragon on. Leroy.
You know the vibes. You know the vibes.
So give me your perspective from
Move
Sifu.
your pizza. The Daddy Green's pizza.
Man, listen, dog. Like, yo, I gotta say, man. I mean, I think it's fair to say I've always been hyped for Sifu, but man, the combat is so satisfying, bro. Like, it's like, and it's in depth. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's not just one of them things to where you like not really just spamming square and triangle and stuff like that, but you really have to strategize on what you want your runs to be for. You know what I'm saying? Because I think some people getting too like one of the things I see people are doing is they're getting too caught up in trying to beat the game. It's kind of like the Returnal effect. You know, like you got to be patient and really have a goal for your runs because, for example, I went to the first level, which is called the squats, and I would do like 6 to 7 runs in the squats, but I would do it so I can get enough XP to permanently unlock some skills that's going to help me in the long run.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you really want to build up your skills and stuff like that because that stuff really does matter in this game, bro. And you have to use literally everything. Like you can't just parry, you can't just dodge, you can't just block. Like you literally have to use everything because enemies aren't just waiting. Like they're coming at you all at the same time and shit. So it's like, it's crazy, bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hey, y'all gonna make me spend some money tonight.
Yeah, man. Hey, B Staples. Hey, B Staples.
Yo,
I know you're an Xbox guy, right? But listening to what these guys are talking about, man, don't you look at your Xbox and be like, motherfucker, what the fuck is you doing, bro? Like, for real, bro.
B Staples still, he say that he still can't find a reason to play his PlayStation, even though Sifu out.
I'm waiting for Horizon. I'm waiting for Horizon. I'm like,
listen to you, yo, you telling me you don't have the urge, you don't remember them Saturday Kung Fu flicks? You know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang versus Shaolin, and right now you thinking
too, like the music,
like right now, right now, you telling me right now you're not like this Tiger Kung Fu vibe, like you're not like this and shit, ready to be like, ooh, you're not hype hearing these two. You're not like
seen the previews for Kung Fu. I mean Sifu. It made me think about Kung Fu Theater on Saturdays, man.
Yo, right now I'm about to just end the stream and be like, screw all this shit. Yo, for real, bro. Like, I'm like, man.
Yo, P-Rock, it's addictive, bro. You're going to be on that joint all night.
Like, right now, right now I'm going to be like, man, screw these damn topics. I'm out. Peace. Catch y'all later. See y'all next week.
But this is how you know the game is great, though. This is how you know the game is great. When you scroll down Twitter and you see a bunch of people having like comments and threads about different tips and tricks on how to do certain shit.
Yep.
Like it's a bunch of them.
I've been suffering all day, especially Akira. You seen his PS5 share? I'm like, yo, this
is just like back in the day and get busted up. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to reset everything and go back in it just like that.
Yo, Strictly got some good tips too, man. If you guys look at his Twitter.
You know shit is popping when slow-mo clapback is up in there giving advice. I'm like, oh my God.
Yo, like, matter of fact, I woke up, getting ready for work. My man Strictly hit me on the PSN. We've chopping it up. We've giving out strats and shit. You know what I mean?
That's a fact, bro.
Both of us is posting up. Oh, look, no death runs.
Yeah, like that's a fact, bro. Like we both kind of got the same strategy. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really focused on beating the game right now. We trying to get the best runs at the lowest age possible, so you're in better position. You know what I'm saying, to do the next run. Like right now, I'm getting to the level, which is the club. So I'm getting to the boss at the age of 20. I just keep dying on the second phase of the boss, but once I get his like moves down pat, I'm hitting into the museum at the youngest age, like for real.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the club too because I got to the museum at 24. But I'm like, nah, I want to get there at least at 21 or just 20. You know what I mean?
Same, bro.
The museum is messed up, bro.
Bro, I know. I got there at 23. You know what I'm saying? And so right now I'm there at 23, but I'm not really doing the museum because I want to get there at 20. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro. There's like a lot of strategy, you know what I'm saying, to it. The game is phenomenal, bro. Like if Horizon and God of War wasn't coming out this year, like this probably would be game of the year for real.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the next topic. While I can't wait to play the game. And B Stables out here pretending he's still like Halo.
Hey, one thing before you go.
Nah, I'm playing B Stables. I'm messing with you, bro.
Right. People got to stop equating worth with these video games when it comes to length, because a lot of people is claiming that this game is like 2.5 hours or whatnot, but nobody out here beating this game in 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? Like. On the first, people are like, I beat the game in 2.5 hours after I learned the game for 10 hours or 15 hours.
Yeah, that's after dedication and just putting mad hours in. And like, if you're able to beat a game in 2 hours, even like some rumor, a guy already beat in 40 minutes. Yeah, but what did it take to get to that point?
Get to there. There's no difference than Resident Evil. Resident Evil, and they give you a trophy, you beat the game under like 2 hours.
And those guys,
we do that after we build up our character and play the game for like 30 hours already. You know what I mean? Like,
those guys are doing more than just trying to beat the game, learn to beat the game. Them guys are trying to perfect the game. So the amount of patience and shit that they're doing, they got their money's worth. Because like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying?
The experience in general for real with this game, you're getting your money's worth, no question. And then, like you said, like they'll be like, "Oh well, I'm beating the game in like 2.5 hours," but I bet you're not telling people the 20 to 25 hours you had to do to unlock all your damn skills, though. Yeah,
the amount of coffee, the amount of 2 hours, the amount of Mountain Dew and Monster Energy he had to drink, and Cheetos to stay up all night doing that. Shout out to Alize187. With the super chat, he said he waiting for these PS bangers to go to Game Pass. Oh, this guy, man, don't pick on B Staples, man.
Also, before we move on to when it comes to skills in the game, it's very unique because certain skills will only lock depending on your age, and you can miss out on certain skills if you pass that age. So, like there's certain skills you will learn if you're 29 or younger, but if you're in your 30s, you will never get to unlock those skills.
Weapon mastery, you only have until age 29 to unlock it. If you don't unlock it before then, it's gonna be locked. You can't get it.
Man, can't teach an old dog new tricks and shit.
And there's certain skills that you only learn when you're old.
That sounds like when you get bought from the military, like, you're a certain age, you can't join the military no more. It's a wrap.
That's it.
You can remap your buttons however you want to remap. I think the default is fine though. You get used to it. Because I was pressing circle to dodge, or run or whatnot. But I got used to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go on to the next topic, right? And this one's been a little bit like this movement's been growing a little bit, but the topic is apparently now there's a narrative being built up that Sony are a bunch of liars because they don't believe in organic growth and. I'm trying to find out where this come from, whatever. But apparently, simply because, let me get this image right here. Hold on.
I mean, that's definitely a fake narrative.
No, we're not talking about that one yet. We're not talking about people reporting me to the FBI. Where is it? Where's my little image at?
That was
I'm gonna report you to Canada and the CIA.
You saw that? So that motherfuckers reported me to the CIA, bro. Like that's how we got, bro.
Hey, yo, be careful, bro. Be careful.
Like they literally, the dude tagged the CIA, the FBI, and the U.S. Army. And I'm like, I'm not even in the Army, but this shit is funny as hell.
And that's what I was thinking. Like, guess what? Like, you might need to do your little research, because that guy's not in the Army.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? And the CIA? You think the CIA cares about fucking corporate strategies? Like, unless you're involved with Al Qaeda, they don't care about that shit.
Nah, none of that.
Yo, P-Rock, your new nickname is Mecca.
Mecca what? Yo.
My Power Book of Ghost fans will get that.
Yo, this shit is crazy, bro. I'm like, what?
Jesus, wow. Yo, I saw that. I thought he was like joking. I
was like, the CIA, bro. Like who? I could just imagine the CIA Twitter account. Like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, what? Yo, this shit is funny.
We don't care about that kid.
Yo, this shit is funny. CB3 shout out said the devs also said there's gonna be expansions for Sifu. All right. Hopefully.
I mean, from what I see about Sifu, I mean, it looked mean. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and get it. You know, and check it out.
It is definitely going to be one of the most satisfying games that you played this generation, for sure.
Facts.
It was very satisfying.
All right, cool. All right. So on to the next topic. B Staples, maybe you might be more in tune because that's like your community. Like, you're going to have to help me out and figure this out. But apparently, simply because PlayStation bought Bungie, now there's a narrative that Sony lied about organic growth and they're not about that life. I don't understand the context to that, but that's like, I'm seeing more and more of that now. That Sony was never about organic growth. Like, can somebody, like, I even asked, hey, can I get an Xbox dude to show up and see what the hell's going on? Because am I missing something? Am I missing a point? Like, is there something that about this? B Staples, what's going on with your community? What's going on over at that house? Like,
wait, I'm not the one saying. I don't really.
I didn't say you, but are you listening to you're in their house? So like, are you listening? Like, are you seeing podcasts? Like, what the hell's going on up in here? Like, Sony don't believe in organic growth?
Like, I don't think it, like, does it really matter, like, if the growth is organic or, like, why does that matter? I don't
it does matter. It does matter.
Why? Why does that matter?
I'll give you a perfect example. I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? I'll use Naughty Dog, right? I'll use Naughty Dog as an example, right? When Naughty Dog first came out, they made a game called Way of the Warrior. This was before Sony, right? Not a very popular game. What platforms was that game even available? Because I never played it.
Hey, I got a good answer to all that.
Hey, here we go. Way of the Warrior. I'm just going to use that. Way of the Warrior, right? Naughty Dog. Right? Way of the Warrior, Naughty Dog. I'll give you an example. So, Way of the Warrior, Naughty Dog, it was developed. It was on 3DO. Now you see why nobody played the motherfucker. Alright, it was on 3DO. What other platform was that thing on? I'll tell you right now. No, it was just 3DO. So, it was on just 3DO. It flopped. They made no money. But, despite that flop, Sony went out and acquired Naughty Dog. Because I'm assuming they saw talent in that studio, right? So,
was it a good game?
Yeah. So what? Was it a good game?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Bro, it's on the 3DO. Like, I didn't own a 3DO. Nobody did that thing. Yo, the 3DO was like $500 back in the 80s or 90s, right?
I didn't own no 3DO either.
Yo, the game came out in 1994. Like, nobody played this game. Like,
nobody in the hood had a 3DO.
Nobody. That shit was like a $500 console. Yo, 3DO was a console in 94 that was like $500. So nobody played this game. It was a fighter game. Nobody played this game. Nobody heard of it. It bombed. Primarily because one, this platform that it was on, 3DO. So it was already dead on arrival. Nobody had that shit, right? So it was whatever. So Naughty Dog was nothing, right? But regardless, for whatever reason, Sony saw something in Naughty Dog that they acquired them despite creating a flop. And since then, right, under, Sony providing funds, getting them ready, doing all the things to help them be a big studio, Naughty Dog ended up creating Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter, Uncharted, The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? So you see what organic growth does, right? And I could give you other examples of the other studios. Guerrilla was another one, right? Guerrilla, before Sony acquired them, they had a game called Shell Shock. You ever heard of Shell Shock? NAM 67?
Shell Shock was hard as hell.
Nah, definitely never heard of that.
Exactly. You never heard of them, right? But you heard of Killzone, right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
You see what I'm saying? So once again, it's kind of weird that Sony is getting studios at that time that created flops, but Shell Shock was a flop. Nobody really cared about it. Sony acquired a studio, gave them a little direction, and now you see the studio went from Killzone now to Horizon, to which you say you're waiting for Horizon Forbidden West, right? That's your go-to game for PlayStation?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's organic growth. It's taking studios from a very infant stage and developing them to be big studios, and you get new games from these studios. While Microsoft did. Now, listen, I'm not knocking Microsoft. I'm not knocking the hustle. I know exactly why they did. Now, let me ask you this. Ready? I'm going to ask you, and you're going to know the difference, okay? Here's the thing, right? While Microsoft did, particularly with Bethesda and Activision, and here's my question. I'm going to ask you this because you're an Xbox dude, right? Other than Game Pass, right? Because the real benefit of what Microsoft did was now all these games are going to be on Game Pass day one, a service. You're subscribed to Game Pass, right? Yeah. So other than Game Pass, a service you already subscribed, you're going to get more games onto Game Pass. But here's my question to you, right? Other than Game Pass, in terms of, you're just going to get more titles for a service you're already paying for. Other than that, without mentioning PlayStation, Microsoft just spent, what is this, 69 billion plus 7 billion, so 76 billion. Basically 76 billion. Microsoft just spent
80 billion.
Yeah, we'll be more specific. 80 billion, but I think it's specifically 76 billion, whatever, right? Microsoft spent billions of dollars acquiring Bethesda and Activision, whatever. So here's my question. $76 billion. What game did Microsoft now gave you're able to play that you didn't have access to play on Xbox? $76 billion. So what now that you have access to play that you didn't already have access owning an Xbox? What game?
Now, none, but I think that will change in the future.
Okay, but here's the thing. If these studios remain multi-plat, are you saying, let's say, no, listen, if these games remain multi-plat, Activision, Bethesda, you're saying chances are you wouldn't have been able to play those games on Xbox? So you're saying like Elder Scrolls. So let's say Elder Scrolls 6, right? The next Elder Scrolls. You're telling me that game wouldn't have come out on Xbox?
Yeah, it would have.
So again, what game are you would have played? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You didn't. The thing you gotta understand the business and the gamer aspect. I understand the business strategy, and the business strategy is they bought these studios not to help you gamers out or to give you new games, because you were gonna get those games anyway. What they did was support Game Pass and keep the games away from PlayStation. That's what these acquisitions are doing. They're not really giving us more new games.
They trying to be the Netflix of gaming.
You see what I'm saying?
But you don't think that they're gonna greenlight new games? Like, look at Activision got 9 studios and they all work on COD. That won't be the case in 3 years.
How would you know?
Studios are gonna make up the shit.
Maybe.
How would you know?
They've already said it. They said they're gonna revive some IPs. You don't think they're gonna do that?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Right? I'm a businessman. Let's say I work for your company, right? Or you work for my company, or whatever. I'm a shareholder, and you convince me to give you $68 billion to buy Activision. You come up with this, or Activision has the most popular game in the world, Call of Duty, blah blah blah, and I'm like, all right. You know what? Okay, cool. B Staples. Here is $69 billion. Boom, I give it to you. And then you go out, you buy this company, whatever. Do you really think you're going to come back to me and say, hey, yo, Puerto Rock, thanks for the $69 billion. I have a great idea. We're going to stop making Call of Duty every year. Boy, I will fire your ass. I will be like, what? I just gave you $69 billion and you're going to tell me you're not going to make Call of Duty? Guaranteed billions every year? Man, I'm firing you. You better come up with another plan. Because you're going to make this Call of Duty. I don't care how you do it, but I better see Call of Duty come out every year. Go ahead and let me... boy, I'm going to fire your ass.
I think if they could do the Grand Theft model, then the Grand Theft GTA,
but they have that with Warzone.
They would get money.
They have that with Warzone.
Not really, because guess what? They got to come out with a... Call of Duty got to come out with a game every year. Compared to Grand Theft Auto, they done came out with one game for 10 years and been killing them, making billions every year off of one game.
Oh yeah,
my thing is this though.
Yeah, but what you call it? They have that with Warzone. Warzone is like they're always online and they're always making $1 billion. The thing about Call of Duty, let's call Call of Duty for what it is. It's the Madden of FPS. It doesn't matter if it sucks. It doesn't matter what the Metacritic. It doesn't matter if it reuses assets. It just sells.
Exactly. So why would you have 9 studios working on one game? That doesn't
because it's the Madden of FPS.
Yeah, like and the thing,
why does COD need that much help? This is a regular.
It's the best selling game every year. Of course,
but 9 studios on one game. 9.
They don't have 9. It's 3 studios working on.
It's not even 9 studios. It's not really. I think it's 3 studios. It's really
3 studios working. No, 3 studios working on Call of Duty.
Other studios on COD, like Toys for Bob works on COD. The dudes that made Spyro,
that's the help with the multi. I mean, it's the biggest game that's out. You're gonna need help to manage the multiplayer or fix bugs or do Q. You're gonna need.
But this is my thing, bro. Microsoft never cultivated shit, bro. They bought Halo when it was already created. They bought Forza when it was already created, or they bought the developer when it was already created.
Oh, they saw what was being created. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So. All I'm saying is they're not going to cultivate shit. They're not going to make anything better.
Wait, you saying that Microsoft never owned Bungie?
No, so Bungie, they bought Bungie after they saw the Halo.
After they saw Halo.
Oh, really?
And the same for Forza. The only IP they created from the ground up was Gears. AAA.
Well, so, technically no, because Gears was Epic, and they bought the rights to it.
They bought. True. So
that's. I think Sea of Thieves. I think Sea of Thieves is genuinely like born within Microsoft.
Yeah, but that's like the only
Forza was. Wait, no, Microsoft.
I don't know about Forza. I don't know about Forza because again, it's a racing game, and racing games are trash. So I don't know the history about Forza. I don't know. I don't know if it was.
I didn't know they bought Bungie.
So Bungie was a Mac developer. They used to make the games on Mac, and they made an FPS called Marathon.
Yeah.
Right, and then here's the thing, and then so I will say this: I remember with Bungie, they were originally trying to make Halo an RTS, and then they switched it to an FPS. I don't know if it's because Microsoft influenced them, because they didn't talk about that in the Power On documentary. The Power On documentary that's on YouTube, they didn't talk about that. But I remember it was something that originally Bungie was making an RTS, and Microsoft asked them, the Xbox guys asked them if they could make a shooter. And then they just decided to change it into a shooter. And then they showed them, hey, this is what you're asking for. So I have to look back in the archives.
Yeah, they're not going to miraculously change shit, bro. Like, that's
Smooth! Get in! Smooth! You have access to my Discord. Get up in here. Stop talking in the chat.
I remember with Gears and how Gears, they was planning on putting that on PS3. And Microsoft was like, no, we're going to buy Epic up, or they bought the IP. I think they bought the IP for Gears. It was like, nope. I don't know no other console.
Yeah, man. Organic growth is important because, shit, I don't want nobody to give me one damn fish. Teach me how to fish so I can have plenty of them shits. That's what it's about to me.
Yeah, buying an established studio that has like Bungie. Bungie's not organic growth, right? That's obvious, right? That's just acquiring an IP to self-serve. You're self-serving. Obviously, they want to use Bungie's talent to help the other studios, but that is not organic growth, right? And what you get is an IP that was on PlayStation anyway. And if let's say Sony didn't buy Bungie, they would have gotten the IP anyway, their new IP, unless Microsoft. The only way you don't get IPs from this new studio is if another publisher buys them out. But
people focus on one acquisition when the previous 5-6 acquisitions. Is
that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like the majority of the stuff is organic, which helps create new IPs. And again, the organic growth is important because you're getting it from a studio that is like junior or starting out, and you're helping them, grow into something bigger over time.
It's probably going to be a slow capping. Ember Labs is going to be a prime example because if these indie titles, if they acquire these small indie developers, and then they end up, like on some, Insomniac level or something like that, then we're going to look back like, hey, they organically grew these developers.
And I'm gonna be honest. I know Microsoft mentioned, we could possibly do this. I think they're just saying the nice shit to get, buy-in from the community. In my opinion, right? Other than like sexual harassment, the toxicity, I think Microsoft's definitely going to address that. That's why they're going to get Bobby Kotick out of there. Rumor has it that in order to kick him out, he needs a severance pay. He gets a severance pay of $400 million. And I think Activision at the time on their own was not willing to give him $400 million. But now that eventually they'll fall under Microsoft, to Microsoft, 400 million ain't nothing. They're like, here, take your 400 million, get the hell out of here. So I think in that, Microsoft will definitely influence it. But I would guess Microsoft is going to treat Activision in the same way they're going to treat Bethesda. Because notice, they bought the publishing side of Activision too. And I don't think they're going to get rid of that. I think they're going to do what they did with Bethesda. You keep your publishing side, do what you do. Because you guys already shown a propensity to make money. The only change is your shit's on Game Pass day one. And that's it. That's the only.
What kind of more quality is going to come from this acquisition of Activision to Microsoft? You know what I mean? Like, is Call of Duty going to get slicker? Or is it going to get worse?
I mean, have you seen Halo? I don't think they're going to do anything. I personally think. All joking aside. All joking aside.
Xbox since Xbox 360, and 3 weeks after I bought the 360, real ring of death. It was right after that. It's over.
I mean, all jokes aside, I don't think Microsoft, as the main publisher, is going to get involved with Activision or Bethesda. I think they're going to keep their publishing arm and let them do what they do best, right? Obviously, they're going to be heavily involved.
So basically, Call of Duty going to be an arcade game, basically. It's going to be like Duck Hunt.
No. They're just going to do what they do. Call of Duty's not going to change. It's not going to change. Call of Duty's Call of Duty. If the formula works,
Call of Duty, you never see me again.
But the thing is, Call of Duty sells like 15 plus million. That's the thing. People who don't buy Call of Duty, everyone who
more than that.
Yeah. You got all the people. I'm gonna be honest. Like me, I don't buy Call of Duty either. But guess what? We don't matter. The game has such a huge following.
Right.
They don't need us.
But just what you were saying earlier about SOCOM, I've been chasing a SOCOM crack house since SOCOM stopped, since Confrontation, you know what I mean? And SOCOM, it brought a lot to the multiplayer shooting aspect of gaming, you know what I mean? Guess what? I done heard of people losing their wives because of SOCOM, like they was in special forces for real. Like,
SOCOM was amazing.
Your wife over a video game? Like, really?
Yeah.
SOCOM was crazy.
Yeah.
Me myself, if I was the guy to say to bring SOCOM back, I'll put all the special operations in there. Shout out to Porter Rock. I'll put Marsoc in there. You know
that would be dope. Oh.
One of the newest special operations. You know what I mean?
If they put that shit in as a money transaction, I'm buying it.
Oh, guess what? I already say if I was like, when you was talking about SOCOM earlier, I was like, oh yeah, if they put Marsoc in there, Porter Rock about to spend $1,000.
I'm gonna be like Russell. I'm gonna be like Russell Westbrook with the chicken wing. I'm talking my shit about money transaction, how it's terrible for the industry. But as soon as I see a Marsoc character for $100, I'm gonna be like,
here go $1,000. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get everything.
I'm gonna be like this, paying $100 for that Marsoc character. I'm gonna be like, shit. I'm gonna make this shit an NFT. Only I got it.
But I think SOCOM would be a really good franchise as far as them trying to do multiplayer. I know Jay Barry ain't into the games of a service as far as I hear from him. You know what I mean? But
I play a lot of games.
No, he plays shit. Barry be buying $300 controllers for his FPS.
I play a lot of games and service games. I just don't want that to be the priority on PlayStation.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think this whole narrative of inorganic growth, I think that's kind of crazy. Like, Sony has done plenty, and they're gonna continue to do it. They're going to continue to do it because that's how you get new games. You understand what I'm saying?
It's people like Beast Gables pushing that. Talking about,
I'm not knocking.
About organic growth.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Microsoft's hustle.
Not me. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't knock either way. Just get the job done. Yeah, I don't care how you do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I'm not knocking Microsoft hustle. In fact, I think everybody said you need big games on this Game Pass subscription in order to sell it. Like, you need to be like Bleeding Edge. Bleeding Edge ain't gonna work.
I'm not gonna hustle because them games are garbage. Period.
Oh shit!
Hey, look, PlayStation Nation about to have a better damn completion percentage on Sifu than these motherfuckers gonna have on any damn game on fucking Game Pass. I guarantee. Watch. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't hearing. I don't like the practice. Fuck what they talking about. That shit is garbage. It's just as simple as that. Until they give me some games worth playing, I'm gonna keep that same energy with them. The shit's garbage. Period.
That's a
Straight up. Ain't no sugarcoating that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Water.
Yeah, bro, you're not gonna go your whole first year in the launch without putting out a AAA title. You put out Flight Simulator. Motherfuckers sitting there talking about we got a 91 on Flight Simulator. Motherfuckers not playing it. They cap for hate.
Flight Simulator was the biggest cap.
Bro, listen, dead ass, bro. I was in the spaces the other day, bro. You know how long people have been talking and fronting about wanting to play Halo? The man, didn't Halo come out, December 8th? Fam, it's February and he ain't beat it yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, what we talking about?
Yo, you know what's funny? I beat the campaign.
This shit garbage, bro. It is what it is.
It's average. I thought it was average. I thought it was average. I thought it was okay.
Halo
they've been waiting so long for Halo Infinite.
I thought it was okay. I get a 7.5. I didn't play the multiplayer.
I'm telling you straight up, dog, just the dead ass truth. When you see new games dropping on like an Xbox, all you see is them talking about it. But when they drop, you see, you know what I'm saying, ones and twosies. You see a couple people talking about it or posting some gameplay, but that's really it. But here we are playing Sifu, and all you see is the whole fucking PlayStation Nation playing the damn game and seeing gameplay down the whole timeline. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. Motherfuckers talk about games, and then there's people who actually play them shits.
All right. So this is
strictly. They waited 6 years for Halo Infinite. They want to savor the game, man. They want to play as Master Chief one time a week, so they can so it can last them until their next big game. You know what I mean? Come on, give them some slack, strictly.
Bro, so, listen. Matter of fact, this was B Staples actually that said this shit here. Because we put up the Steam chart and the peak player count was 236K on PC. There's 1.8 billion PC gamers, bro. He tried to tell me what is probably more on Xbox Series consoles. I'm like, damn.
No, there's clearly more on the console. Like, do you not think that there's more on the console?
Absolutely
not. All right, let me set the stage.
That's delusional.
So we got a good segue. So we segue to the next topic. So we're gonna continue. But first, CB3 with the super chat. He says, "What if Xbox deal Activision falls through?" I doubt it, because I don't think. I mean, even with Activision, I know people are using the word monopoly, but it isn't. It's impactful, but it's still technically not a monopoly. It's gonna take a lot more for Microsoft to fall into that category. So I think they'll be fine. But here's the next topic, right? Since we were already talking about it. So Paul Tassi put out Halo Infinite has fallen outside Xbox top 5, outside of Steam's top 100. Now,
Steam's top 100.
Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because I already see the damage control. I already seen 2 YouTube videos. I already see 2 YouTube, and one of them's from my brother, my baby brother. I swear to God, we try to leave gas in Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? He's the black sheep of the family. You know, it is what it is, right? But I'm already seeing videos and I'm seeing tweets of, "Oh, why are you guys holding PC numbers to judge console games? That's bullshit." And I'm like, hold up, I'm gonna be real. These Steam numbers was first used by the Xbox dudes, starting with Forza, and then it carried over with with Halo. Now that these same numbers are not looking good, everybody wants to dismiss them. I'm just saying. That's what's happening.
They used it for the player count too.
Yeah,
you know what they say about Halo got all this player count. They was like using the Steam and the console.
So let's start with B Staples because he's the Xbox dude, right? You know, he makes sure that we don't cap. B Staples, who really started the Steam number stuff? Was it PlayStation dudes or was it the Xbox dudes with Forza and Halo? I'm just saying. I'm just asking a question here.
I guess it was Xbox guys.
Yeah, what do you mean you guess? Come on, player.
I don't think PlayStation guys really understand like PC gaming or Steam. Rightfully so, they're mainly console play, but I don't think they understand live service games, or I don't think they understand really any of that. So I'm just gonna say I think Xbox guys have a better understanding of that whole
So you think?
So you explain to us. Tell us. Give us your explanation.
Can I ask this direct question? Let me ask this direct question. Do you think? So you think there's more gamers playing Halo on the Xbox consoles than there is on PC?
Yes, it's a console game. Its fan base has always been on console. It's never been on PC.
You wildin', brother.
I'm asking. So give us.
Halo 5 isn't even on PC, bro. So the game isn't even on there. Halo is a console franchise. It always has been. It's not fucking World of Warcraft. Like, it's not Counter-Strike. Like, it's a console franchise. Its fan base will always be on the console.
All right, so
if that was the case, they wouldn't have to force you to do crossplay. You know what I mean? If more people was playing on the Xbox side of things, they would have an option just like Call of Duty. Like, yo, you don't have to crossplay.
Well, I think they'll change that. I think that's just a quality of life game not launching complete problem. I don't think that's not enough players problem. Like, the game's missing a lot of
their games. They did it with Gears. They're doing it with the Forts. Whatever games that have crossplay, they are doing that because they're not getting.
The Forza is another game where its majority of its fan base is on console. Like, Forza has never been on PC.
Why do you think they always give you some random ass like word when it comes to the numbers? They don't say 20 million active players. They say 20 million people downloaded the fucking game. Like, that's a clear indicator, bro.
20 million people has
Warzone does the same thing. They'll say they have 100 million players. Apex, like, live. That's what I'm saying. They don't understand live service games. Most live service games do that. You guys don't understand.
What do you mean we not understanding? We going on for the topic here and the title. Why is the game dropping out of the top 5 on Xbox since most people play it there and the top 100, brother? What are you talking about?
Because it needs content. It's a live service game. It don't got content. And once they get content,
say that. Why are you talking about we don't understand live service games?
Yeah, no. Because he said, what did he just say? He said, why do they don't talk about active players? They just talk about altogether. Most live service games only talk about altogether. Apex does the same thing. Warzone does the same thing. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about active.
I mean, Xbox do that for every single game because they do that as long as somebody boot up the game. It's a live
service game thing. It's not an Xbox thing. It's live service games. They do the same thing.
It's an Xbox thing.
No, it's not, bro.
They would not give you the active players or the sale numbers of the game. They will give you the player count as far as how many people have boot up the game or download the game. Come on, man. Stop playing.
Brother, Warzone does the same exact thing before they was acquired. Apex does the same exact thing before they was acquired. What do you mean now? They do the same thing.
Call of Duty, you have actual tangible numbers that they give out. Stop it.
Bro, I just seen that EA, they just said Apex Legends players went up like 33%. They didn't even give us a number. They just gave us some percent. I don't know what that means.
Brother, Apex is like... Apex is a free-to-play game that's throughout. I'm just talking about...
Halo is too. What are you talking about?
Halo has a single-player component.
I'm not talking about the single player. Single player is its own thing. I'm talking about the multiplayer, the free-to-play. I'm talking about the live service portion of the game. It's a live service game. I'm not talking about the single player. I'm saying that why is it dropping? The game needs content. There's no content in it right now. Once it gets content, like most live service games, people will go back to it. That's how, like, I've seen a lot of live service games launch barren, and when they got content, people played it. Like Sea of Thieves, Final Fantasy 14 Online, like the whole fucking list goes on. The game need content. Once you get content, people will go back.
Most of the big popular games that's live service, they're constantly adding content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
They're living up to their promises as far as if they have seasons coming up. That's when that season's going to hit that month. Not, we promise you in January we're going to do this, but then, we got to fall back and delay that.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah. They got to get better at delivering content because, once again, it's a live service game. But I think once Season 2 hit and they add Forge and Co-op and all that shit and whatever else they plan on adding, people will go back. It's a live service game. That's how they go.
Do you think that's... All right, let me ask you this, B. Staples. Do you think that's like... Is that really content? I mean, I know it's content, but aren't those things should have been with the game? I say like co-op. Shouldn't co-op been there day one? Like, is that really like, you're going to get new content. And what's the new content? Co-op. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that really new content? Or is that just, you just still fixing? Or are you just fixing shit, you're still in the fix it up phase. You're not really providing content phase. You're in the fix this shit phase. Like, what's your opinion?
Co-op is its own thing. Before just Duffy content, because we've had Halo games that didn't have it. So that, like, I think Forge takes priority over co-op. Like, that should be they should be working on that a lot more than co-op. They need that for the sustainability of the online, because people can make their own maps and play whatever creative games they want to play and do all that.
We really talking about this with a game that's been in development for 6 years. I can't get over that, bro.
But it's a live
game that's on their box.
See, and this is the problem, because like when Sony says they have 10 live service games, like I could bet money majority of those games will launch barren. Like, they're gonna lack content.
It's a live service.
That's my point. Most live service games launch barren. You're finding more live service games that launch without content than with content.
The only reason why I'm not really jumping on that, because some of the live service games you're comparing to is like a new franchise or something. When Apex came out, that's a new franchise that's being built up. Halo's already a staple in the gaming, community industry, and that game, like Strictly said, was in development for 6 years leading up to that. They know the direction they was trying to go with this game, and it was just bad. It's bad, bro. It's not just it's a live service. Oh, let's excuse it. I think it's just, they wanted to cut back on certain things because they know if they want to develop a blockbuster Halo game, it will cost a lot of money, and they ain't gonna put those type of games in that, like, Game Pass. You're gonna build it up. So we're gonna wait till the subscribers build up, gonna get that money, and that's where you're gonna get your content. That's
I don't agree. Because even when you look
all right, Halo, so why they don't have co-op, brother? Why they don't have Forge?
Because it's a live service game. They'll put it in later.
Does that increase the development cost of, prolonging co-op and Forge and all that stuff?
Does that increase the cost, like, to make the game? I don't know. I'm not a developer. I would assume so.
So you think it's going to be a good business practice for them to look at the active player engagement, which is obviously pretty low, and then to still continue to support that game for years to come? Absolutely not.
Brother, they did that with Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was lower than Halo is right now, and look where that is. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't understand live service games. This is not new. This shit happens.
Bro, we play live service games. We definitely understand live service games, but we're saying is Halo has an asterisk beside it because, again, it was in 6 years of development. It's on Game Pass, so you're only paying a monthly fee to access the free. Well, it's free to play. The multiplayer is free to play. You know what I'm saying? So I just think in general, man, like, it's just not looking good for Halo.
I think so. This is my view, right? Because
the game needs content. Once it gets content, people will go back every other live service game. So this is the thing. Shit.
So I understand live service games, right? It's no different than Warframe. Like, Warframe, started out bare bones,
that's a good example.
and now it's a totally different game. Destiny was the same way. If you played Destiny in 2014, shit didn't really pop off until Taken King. When Taken King came out, that shit blew up. So yeah, I think the main problem is, and J. Darbari hit it on the nose, is that Halo has an historic background of being a complete game and a blockbuster title. Let
me ask this question. Let me ask this question then. So is the active engagement low because of content, or is it low because it's just the same old Halo that's boring, the same shit that it was 15 damn years ago?
No, it's the content. The game's actually really good. The core, and that's what Halo has over other shooters. The core gameplay is really good. It just lacks content. It needs maps.
I can argue the opposite.
B Staples doesn't sting in Halo. I personally don't like Halo like that. I don't think the gameplay is that good. I mean, it's good, but it's not the best in the world, in my opinion. But
it's quality.
He does talk his talk and he walk his walk in the Halo game. So I respect his opinion on Halo, but I think he's capping when it comes to this whole live service joint, especially with a franchise like Halo. Come on, man.
I think
there's other big live service games that's out there.
I think that's the problem, because Halo has a historic background of being a complete big game. This game launched bare bones, and it's it's just a transition.
Exactly.
Now I understand the transition. I'm gonna be honest. It's not just the industry has changed. It's because 343 has not been able to keep up with how Halo established. Halo 5 bombed. Let's all be honest. Halo 5 was a non-factor for last gen. It was a non-factor, right? And I don't think 343 has the ability to do what Bungie did, right? So they went with the free-to-play model, right? Where they could focus on core gameplay, and then they have the time over time just add shit, co-op, forge, a new map, new vehicles, and they just get to do it, right? But some people have a problem with that because they're not used to that, right? It's easy to apply that to Warframe, to Apex, to Fortnite, because these are new games, to Destiny. There's no historic background to any of that. Imagine if they made The Last of Us 3 and Naughty Dog decided to make it episodic and the chapters come out every 3 months. That's like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? No, what I'm saying is like, what the fuck? Like, that's not what we're used to. You understand what I'm saying? So I think there's some people who aren't even used to Halo just being what it is, but I think eventually people will just get used to it. Like, over time.
Yeah, because that's the evolution of multiplayer games in the industry now. Like, even traditional multiplayer, like team deathmatch and that shit, even that's just dying off. Like, it's battle royales and, you know what I'm saying? You got to be on PC. You have to be on PC. If you're not on PC, I don't know how you're making a multiplayer game like a shooter and you're not offering your shit on PC. Like, you almost have to at this point. Like, the industry of multiplayer games, it's Fortnite. Fortnite really changed everything. Like, it's definitely one of the most influential games ever seen, because everyone, like, I don't think people really understand how much that game changed multiplayer for console and PC. Like, because you just have all these copycats. Everyone's taking this model, and
what's crazy? Though it was crazy. It was PUBG was doing it first. Because if everybody remembers, everybody remembers Fortnite wasn't battle royale. It was that stupid ass build
the world shit.
Save the world, build a fucking barricade and fight zombies for $30, and nobody was trying to do that shit. And then they say, we'll just copy PUBG, and they just ended up being better than PUBG. Like, it's crazy. Like,
because they constantly update that joint, which that's why people keep coming back.
Yo, it's crazy.
You need content.
Because it was really PUBG that was doing the battle royale shit, and Fortnite just right. And you hardly hear about PUBG. I'm sure people still play it, but they
play it on mobile. They don't play it on console though. They play that's like a mobile game now, like strictly. Really? I mean, like, from what I've seen, it's crazy.
PUBG got that serious take to it. And there's a lot of like cheaters in that game that just ruin a lot of.
I heard about that. I heard cheaters really messed it up.
That's another problem.
It's no different with like Warzone. You know what I mean? The reason why people go back to Fortnite because they add Marvel characters, they add PlayStation characters, Xbox characters. And people just like, I just want to play as those characters. They don't give a fuck about the cheaters.
They have concerts in that sucker.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
These other ones that's more serious. That cheating, that would let people drop those games real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, my take is I think once they add content, even when season 2 drops, people will go back to it. Depending on when
season 2 dropping.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know when it's supposed to drop. They haven't really said it, but it's like, I don't know, man. I just seen this before with live service games, so I'm not like,
did they say
the fucking house is falling? Like, I'm not in that mentality.
Did they say what's going to be in season 2?
No, they haven't given like a roadmap or set. I think they said Forge supposed to be in there, or co-op, one of them.
That's pure craziness, bro. If you want to do live service games, you gotta update people. You gotta have that roadmap.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing that even PlayStation 2, they gotta do it. Like, you have to communicate with your community. Bro. You can't just go dark with a live service game because people will leave and no place knows. Like, you gotta. And I don't think they understand that, or they're just lazy. I don't know what the problem is. But, like, you have to talk to your community on what the fuck you doing. Like, Call of Duty, they tweet, like, every day. Sledgehammer, Raven, they'll tell you what they're working on. Like, Bungie? That's what you're supposed to do. Bungie do the same. Yeah, Bungie do, like, the This Week in Bungie, and they tell you what they're working on and what they go. Like, you have to do that shit for live service games, bro. You cannot go dark. And that's for every game. Like, you just can't just leave your fan base hanging, bro. shit ain't gonna work, man. It's different from.
Yeah, you can't put out a tweet like, "Hey guys, I know we promised you update in January. We'll do that shit later." Like, you
now,
can't
didn't 343 already miss a deadline? Something?
In January, the dude came out like, "Yo, we see y'all later. I know we lied or we missed that update, but we'll update y'all later."
Yeah,
I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically how people's reading it.
They were on Christmas break, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, you how heartless can you be?
It's on Game Pass, so it's all good.
I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, Microsoft, it is what it is. All right. So I guess we hit up all the topics. Is there anything you gentlemen want to specifically talk about before we close out the show?
Nah, man. I want you to just get to Sifu, man, and you know what I mean.
All right.
Play that joint, man. Like that game is so addictive, man. Like the way I'm playing it, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, just play and beat it. Just beat it, J-Bar. Just beat it." Yeah, I could if I wanted to, but I wanna unlock all the skills. I wanna go for the platinum for this game, so I wanna play the way I wanna play it. I wanna take my time at each level. But until I perfect run each stage or something like that, you know what I mean? But
all right. So wait, go ahead, be stable.
No, I didn't say none.
Okay.
Yo, be stable. Did you get Sifu?
No.
Man, he
Why
ain't
not?
He ain't about that life, man.
That ain't my kind of game, bro.
Yeah,
I don't like the whole it's not hard. It's just not my kind of game. Like that's why I didn't like Sekiro. Like I'm not a fan of like the whole parrying and like you gotta wait, be patient. Like I like. Nah, he
just likes to dual wield. That's it. Give him 2
You
guns.
gotta wait. I mean, you don't gotta wait to parry. You can go in if you want to, but you gotta make sure your defense is on point too. It's not a game that's all about offense.
My man dual wields. That's it.
I'm straight offense.
He's
straight offense.
He dual wields. That's it.
Got no patience. I'm trying to hold forward.
He goes.
So if this game was in Game Pass, would you try it out?
Oh my god, there we go.
If it was in Game Pass, it probably will be one day.
Would you try it out if it was in Game Pass?
Yeah.
It's not your bag of tea?
Nah, probably not.
He lying. He will try it out. I had dudes that don't even know what baseball is, and they downloaded MLB The Show.
Right? Oh yeah, MLB The Show. I know what baseball is.
I know. I mean, oh shit. Anyway, hey everybody, for everybody to know, membership is up on the channel. No, there's no exclusive videos or any weird shit like that. Excuse my language. But the reason why I did it was because I didn't realize how many people wanted it to support the channel.
I don't see no membership in your channel.
Really? It's not activated? It should be activated.
It's not. I don't see it on here right now. Maybe it's just me. Let me reload.
It should be an icon?
Nah, I don't see it. I'm on a computer too. I don't see it. Maybe let me go to the actual channel.
Let me see. Well, I'll double check. But, a lot of people were hitting me up requesting it because they can't make the live streams all the time. So I provided that venue. But all content is still available to all you guys. You know what I'm saying? There's no exclusive secret content or members only videos or nothing like that because I want everybody to enjoy our stuff. But that's just to let you guys know. But anyway, thanks for rocking out. I'm about to hit up Sifu. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do another video, a hot take. Specifically addressing organic growth again, so pay attention to that. Jay Bari, what you got cooking up this week for What's Up PlayStation? What's the plan for Saturday?
Persona's week to host, so he's gathering up all the news and all that stuff.
Okay.
We interchange each week.
That's cool.
Yeah, but the following weekend we got Colin Moriarty. That's Saturday coming through.
Say word.
Yeah, so that's going to be a good one. But yeah, I'm pretty much just gearing up. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to tackle this Sifu at Edge of Eternity on Thursday, and then, Horizon on next Friday. So.
I have one question. How do you feel about Octopath now being on phones and still it's not on PlayStation?
Yo, very disrespectful, man.
What's going on here? The shit is on phones.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit my people up on Square and see what's going on, man.
Like, what are we doing? Like, why is this one game avoiding PlayStation?
Craziness, pure craziness.
This shit is on iPhone, bro.
Cause as soon as that joint hit PlayStation, that's an instant buy, yo.
That's just crazy.
Game on the Switch.
All right, hey, B Stables, what you got going on? What games you gonna be playing?
I'm playing Dying Light 2 until Horizon drops.
How you liking it?
I don't really like it, honestly, but I'm starting to play in the meantime. I guess I spent money on it, so I better like it.
So you wish it was on Game Pass, didn't you?
I do. I actually regret. I regret buying this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't you gotta be defensive in that game?
Oh shit!
Huh?
You gotta run. You
gotta be defensive.
You gotta run in that game.
Nah, I run. I just be jumping on. I be running from smoke. I ain't going.
Oh, he said he run from the smoke.
Yeah, I be running.
You gotta run. It still has that. It still has that infrared light. Because that's how Part 1 was.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I mean. I don't know. It's whatever.
I'm
playing. It's a filler game until Horizon drops. It's filler.
So I didn't buy the game because I played the first one, and it was good, but I didn't finish it. Right? And normally, if I don't finish a game, it takes a lot for me not to finish a game. Right? Because most games, I always when I play a game, unless it's a game you can't it has no end, whatever, like a live service game. But every game I play, I intend to beat. Every game. There is no game I play just to play it for a little bit and then I stop, right? Every game I play, if I boot it up, I'm going to go and I'm going to beat this game. If it gets to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm not beating this. It takes a lot. And for some reason, I don't remember why, but I just stopped playing Dying Light 1. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to play this no more. And I just never went back and beat it, right? So when people tell me about Dying Light 2, I'm like, I don't know about that because I didn't beat the first one. If I didn't beat the first one, it's for a reason. That's why I wasn't interested in Dying Light 2. Because I didn't beat the first one. I forgot what it was, but something about it made me not want to beat it. And it takes a lot.
Bugs?
I don't know. I honestly do not remember why. Most games I remember why I didn't beat it. I know exactly why I didn't beat Shadowfall. I know exactly why I didn't beat Sunset Overdrive. Was another game. What's that game from on Xbox? The one with the Recore. I know exactly why I didn't beat that game. Well, mainly because it glitched on me halfway, and I couldn't do nothing about it, and I didn't go back to it. So, I normally remember why I don't beat games, and I'd be like, "Yep, I'm not doing this." But I don't remember why I didn't beat Dying Light. It's crazy, but whatever it is, that's the reason why I wasn't interested in Part 2. Especially with Elden Ring and Forbidden West coming out too.
Yeah,
and Sifu.
You're not missing out on. Yeah. I don't think you're missing out.
Dying Light is like a later.
It's a sale game.
If nothing
Get
comes
it on
out,
sale.
but I doubt I'm gonna play that game. I was in the same ballpark with Dying Light 1. I was doing the co-op thing with a couple of people. And we fell off from playing the co-op, and I just fell off from playing the game.
So that's it. All right, people. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Tune in for more content soon. Appreciate it. Hey, this is your boy PortRock77, your only friends in these YouTube streets. And that's it. We out of here. I'm about to play some Sifu, boy. Ooh, I got the glow. I'm out of here. Peace. And it's a wrap.